Hey everyone, it's Sunday in time for a new episode of Record Collecting with a Quill. Theme for today, pedal to the metal. Last week we went all cozy and had a sort of a country rock theme, but I believe in yin and yang, and if we were soft last week, we gotta be hard this week. So I picked some of my favorite songs to listen to while driving, and the kind of songs that maybe you could lose your driver's license if you sort of get into it a little bit too much. But before we start, you know the drill. Make sure you subscribe, hit that little notice bell, and also share with your friends. Well, starting out with cars and driving, there's tons of songs about it and the history of music, and I sort of went with the stuff I like, sort of 70s and 80s hard rock, but it's going way back. I mean, Chuck Berry wrote a bunch of songs about cars and Beatles and just about everyone, but I decided to go with my favorites because it's my show, so bear with me. Starting out with this one, obviously Deep Purple, Machine Head, first track, Highway Star. What a fantastic song to sort of really a driving force, and I mean, always, I mean, that's the perfect song to start a Deep Purple show with. It's not really a Deep Purple show if they don't start with Highway Star, and you have Ian Gillan screaming and everything. Yeah, fantastic song. First pick, Highway Star, obviously. Then again, it was so good, so Richie Blackmore decided to sort of write it again, and I think it's kind of cool actually. For this one, Rainbow Straight Between the Eyes, and the first song there is Death Alley Driver. It's more or less a new version of Highway Star, an updated version. Nonetheless, really cool. And Rainbow, what a great band they were. Got to see them at Sweden Rock a couple of years ago. Not so great anymore, but there's some fantastic stuff over the years they made. And it was not only Richie Blackmore who loved it so much he sort of reinvented it or rewrote it. Even Ian Gillan did it himself for this great album. Or what do you think? Is it great or is it not? I'm quite fond of this one. Black Sabbath, Born Again, first song, once again, Trashed, where Ian Gillan tells the story of how he was drunk driving. Not a good idea. I don't suggest you do, but he tells the story of how he wrecked his car while recording this album. And a great track, Trashed. Some great drumming from Bill Ward. It was a shame he couldn't do the tour for this album, but I see it as underrated, but I know a lot of people don't like it, probably because it's named Black Sabbath and it's Ian Gillan. But there's some really cool stuff. There's a really cool show from Worcester, radio show that's really well worth seeking out as sort of a good live concert from this tour with Bev Bevan from ELO on drums. He didn't really fit, did he? Next one, another classic. We're going mainly with classic. Van Halen, 1984, and the track Panama. If there's one, there we go. If there's one song that gets me speeding, it's Panama. What a fantastic song to just during summer roll your windows down and just drive fast. And a great album as well, the last one with David Lee Roth before they reformed years later. But a great album. Next one is maybe not as famous, from The Last in Line, Dio, the track I Speed at Night. Was a song that I was sort of, it was on the album, but I prefer the others. But then we went and saw Dio in, I believe, in 1999, and they played this song, and it's sort of then I got it, and it's a great track, and perfect to Vinny Appice's great drumming on this one. I'm really fond of his drumming on these early Dio albums. Fantastic drummer, and a great song. It was sort of a little bit forgotten gem in the Dio catalog of great songs. But check it out if you haven't heard it. I Speed at Night. Then, of course, you can't do Pedal to the Metal without this one. We're sort of staying in the same vein of musicians, don't we? We had Van Halen previously, and here we have Sammy Hagar and his Voice of America album, and you have the first track, I Can't Drive 55. I remember seeing this video on Swedish television when I was young, and it was the first time I've heard of him. And a great song, perfect, a quite funny video as well. Him driving around in his Ferrari, complaining that he can't drive 55. But it's the ultimate track to sort of forget the speed limit, I guess is the word I'm searching for. Great album. I'm quite fond. I'm one of those guys who's quite fond of the Sammy Hagar years and Van Halen as well. I think they made some great stuff. Cool one. Next one. Well, love him or hate him, Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood, and here you have the track Kickstart My Heart. It's, I don't know how many sort of teams in I follow ice hockey quite a lot, but I've seen a lot of teams who make sort of their entrance to Kickstart My Heart. I think it's one of the most popular songs to make entrance to, and it's a great track. It's sort of I believe it's sort of loosely themed around Nicky Sixx's overdose and how they kickstarted Heart, but it's the ultimate driving song as well. And this is a great album. I'm not fond of all of Motley Crue's album, but this one was great. And I remember seeing this tour as a kid with a spinning drum cage and everything. It was super cool. Even though the opener was better, it was a really young Skid Row who had just released the first album. I remember going to the show as a Motley Crue fan, but all we were raving about on our way home was Skid Row. So I guess they made a huge mark on us going. But a cool album nonetheless. And last one, and not the obvious song from this album, maybe Joe Satriani and the Flying in a Blue Dream album. One I was really fond of in the early 90s. And here's a song I've always been fond of called Can't Slow Down. Sort of about driving, and I believe it's the only album that Joe Satriani ever sang on. I think all of his other albums are instrumental, which I think is not the greatest singer, but it works for a couple of songs on this album. Big Bad Moon, sort of a bluesier track. Can't Slow Down is another one I think is a great one, and one I always try to press the gas pedal a little bit further whenever it comes on the stereo while driving. So my last pick, Can't Slow Down, Joe Satriani from the Flying in a Blue Dream album. What year was it? 89? Yeah, I think so. Got to see him on this tour as well, and I think I have a single of Big Bad Moon signed somewhere. Really nice guy. Now, I really want to hear what are your favorite driving songs or pedal to the metal songs. There's tons of them in the history of rock and roll, and these are my favorite, and these are the old ones I've been carrying with me for 20 or 30 years. Please leave a comment in the comment section or in the Facebook pages where I usually post these, and I will of course put all these songs in the Spotify playlist. You will find a link down below so you can find the music from this and all previous episodes. what is it, 60 episodes. Crazy. I started out well over a year ago, being bored during the COVID lockdowns, and here we are with a new subject every week, but it's still a lot of fun. Also, make sure you follow the QUILL on social media. It's the QUILL Sweden. Lots of cool news. We have our 30th, that's difficult to say. We're doing sort of a homecoming show in our hometown of Mönsterås on May 26th. So if you're into the QUILL, you got to be there. It's got to be a lot of cool surprises and nice stuff happening. So check that out. The tickets are available, and I'll post a link to that as well down below. That's it for now, folks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next week. Bye for now. Cheers.